Well, so I'm going to fetch you before I do that. I'm going to fetch you a...
So we could put a tapestry here. We could increase your throne size with marble.
Red eyes.
Yes. Maybe add some small fires next to it. For effect.
I don't know. We'll make a big engraving of Akira's holy symbol in the ground, in the sort of floor.
It is a great way to.
I kind of imagine Tristan just go, I have some colors.
Just
very
random shoutings.
So a quick overview. I mean, are they just what they look like armory, bedroom?
I'm gonna get them. Just fetching some drow souls for you to put in the.
Sure. I think I stand and guard the door.
Like so.
But pick the ones that aren't spies, please.
Can you send me all your non-spies?
Yes.
Please.
Only non-traitors, please.
But the traitorous ones are the best.
I think probably just picking out two, like myself, would be the best way to do it. Since
Probably.
if the leader was a traitor, then he'd probably sent bad ones. And they don't need to be particularly powerful. It's more like an honor guard. Just stand here.
Yeah, you can command. You basically the losses after the battle. You roughly have 55 drow soldiers left.
That's heavy. All right. I guess it's double equipment for everyone. For repairs for what's broken and such.
Dual wield longswords, everyone.
Oh no. Just miss everything like minus 10, minus 6, minus 10. Well, yeah, let's inspect the place.
Alright, let me bring up the map.
Go through it.
Let's take a look here. No.
Dear sister, if we turn this room into a personal shrine.
Well, it depends on what's here already. And I don't need a shrine. Akira needs a shrine.
Alright, so let's. What room? Shall we just go clockwise?
Yeah,
or
let's just go through them.
Alright. So this, entryway, big hall. This room is a basically a small armory. Weapons and mainly short swords and like crossbows are put here. Enough for roughly 5 guards by your count. This hall?
Oh, you're right. I'll not write that.
This and this, both these rooms used to be barracks.
Okay.
For the gnomish soldiers. This is basically like a cloakroom, we can put up your dirty traveling clothes when you speak with the Lord.
It's a closet.
Yeah. Let's see. These 2 rooms, when you look into them, seem to be some sort of guest rooms. They're like engravings on the walls about fantastic gnomish victories, and the ancient history of the gnomish people and some such. A fancy bed. There are some minor things in here for people who are basically guests. Like there are bed tables. Closets, things like that.
Was it both rooms?
Yeah, this one too.
And next?
This one seems to be a more lavish guest room. This is probably where the Lord kept, honored guests, so to speak.
And still he sent us away to the goddamn inn.
Yeah. And this is basically the honored guest's toilet.
The honor toilet.
Yep. This is a small gallery of stone statues. You're not exactly sure, but you would guess that these are some sort of Gurney ancestors, kept here as portraits and banners and other sort of memorabilia in this sort of walk of honor.
Well, that's gonna go.
Most prominent is a large, exquisite marble statue of what you're thinking is the first lord of Festival, Lord Gurley, who cut down and threw out the hated Dwergar.
Do I have rights to destroy these later, sister?
Some of these seem to be rather old, actually, older than they would guess the town itself. They might actually predate Festival. They must have been transported here at great expense.
Could they be valuable?
Well, it's hard to find, a buyer for a gnomish self-portrait statue.
Oh, really?
You're not really
Or
sure.
have historical
why.
value?
Well, if nothing else, we can always put them with the spiders.
You do notice, though, that the main Lord Gurley statue has a very fancy, sort of beautifully woven robe draped upon it. It's a lot of gold and silver thread weaved into it. It looks valuable.
All right. Guess we can put it in the treasure pile if they have a treasury in here.
Doesn't look like it.
Well, maybe they have done some other ones.
Through the next room.
Okay. This room. This seems to be some sort of Lord's armory or Lord's guard room. It is. There is a small guard post stationed here. There are weapons on the walls, sort of honorary ones. Many of them seems to be very ancient. Perhaps they have belonged to the long deceased ancestors, depicted in the gallery. But it seems like this is the first. You need to go through this room to go into this room, which, when you get in, is clearly the Lord's bedchamber. It has a large, comfortable bed that you, to your surprise, find is actually made of wood. Quite the extravagant expense.
How large is it?
It's large.
So, 2-person?
Yeah, 2 persons could easily sleep in this.
Could one drow sleep in it?
Yes, easily. As a 2 drow can sleep in it.
Guess she'll just change the sheets.
Get that gnome smell out.
Was that another toilet next to it, or?
No, peeking in here, this door is locked. But it would be, fair to say that you would have plundered any keys from Lord Gurney, and
Is that where the candy is?
one of his keys get to this door, and indeed there is candy in this room.
Yes!
Is it just a candy room?
Sweet shop.
You do not have a candy room.
This seems to be the treasury.
Oh, good.
You see a large, stout wooden chest banded with iron. It has the house garrison, stamp on it, and it seems to be of quite sturdy make. Also, there are shelves here with different strange and exotic candies from far-off lands.
Thank you, God.
All right. Well,
Thank you, Drew.
let's inspect the chest. Open it with the knob.
All right, you open the chest.
I spy.
Yes, you spy a chest full of gnomish coins, gold, silver, copper, in a huge pile. You would estimate around 6,000 golds worth of treasure.
All right. It's a good amount.
It's a decent plunder.
You can't really carry it, though, so let's keep it here for now.
The candy is quite rare and also quite valuable. You would estimate if you sold off the candy in here, you would get 250 gold.
Can't sell the candy.
Tristan
We
looks,
probably can't. I mean, if we can't find a purveyor of old statues, then
Tristan looks with begging eyes at Alauneari.
come out of your share, sister. No, of course, everything all in here belongs to Alauneari. She knows that. But for now, let's leave it in the treasure.
There's also a collection of fine garments woven with quite skill and expertise. A lot of gold thread also in these. Quite a collection. Gnome size, all of it, of course. But if sold, would yield you around 700 gold.
All right. Now, who to sell this stuff to?
Indeed.
Right, the Baroness with candy.
You do know there was in the square when you were here. There was a market. There was actually trade going on.
Right.
Now
Yeah,
the
I
market
guess-
is more of a display of grisly murder, but
We'll have it cleaned up for when the next caravan arrives.
But seriously, Tristan is looking at her with begging eyes. She really
Not
wants
now,
that.
sister. We have more things to deal with right
But she really wants that candy.
now. Yes. That is, there's hundreds of golds worth of candy.
Yes.
There will be time. All right. Well, it
There's
looks
a
to
room.
Alauneari like this will be her room. Yes.
What's this room?
this seems to be some sort of council chamber.
Convenient.
Yes.
Now, why would
The room is dominated by a mushroom bark table, wrought iron chairs, and an iron banded chest holding what seems to be volumes of town records. Kept
Are they gnomish
with-
chairs? Are they like gnome-sized chairs?
Yes, kept
Oh.
with quite meticulous precision. These books, it seems.
Or we should have someone knowing gnomish pour through them at some point.
And there's also this what do you call it? The heraldry of Festival is emblazoned on the wall over the council head of the council chamber here.
We'll have to weave a new one. I'll have some banners of the House Vytharia and of, maybe even make a new one for festivals.
Mm.
The old ones from Varthus, we don't need those anymore.
Okay, you guys in here, make a perception check, please.
Perception checks.
New symbol of Fastervault will be like this blood-drenched eagle clenching like a dwarven something, and like it's like a
That's a natural
talon.
20.
Oh, critical
That's-
perception.
Your
Alauneari
city is all weaved of gold.
Alauneari is so thoroughly, is thoroughly engrossed in like trying to find everything.
Well, yeah,
Mine-
you'll have to redecorate this place. There's probably like a secret trapdoor that leads to outside.
You will reveal
Apparently
your
mine's
secrets to
22.
me.
For Jonas,
Your
mine's
secrets.
actually supposed to be 22, my result. Don't think it matters, but...
You hear a gurgled cry coming from up north somewhere in the building.
Well, time to move.
Mobilize!
Brother. Move in front.
Okay, I'll just stay here then.
No, follow. You're not safe alone.
Turning north for my sword and shield!
Yes.
You see two dead drow.
And?
Nothing else. The door's closed.
An invisible dragon.
Everyone on guard. Anything up here? Looking around the corners?
Not that you can see.
Something's killed the guards. And whatever it is still in here.
What sort of wounds do the guards seem to have?
A heal check would certainly help in. Their throats are cut with startling precision. It must have been over quite fast. And this is quite vicious. And yes, precise.
Sakari, come over here.
Brother, let us find our other brothers. They may be in danger.
Because I have a feeling whatever killed these two were not after these two.
You can make another perception check.
Alauneari looks up.
It's a spider.
My bonus right this time.
Sitting in the ceiling.
My bad. Sorry. You do notice that one of the drow seems to be clutching something in hand.
Alauneari will take a look at it.
Seems to be a bloody piece of cloth.
What sort of cloth?
Black. Almost silken, very smooth. You would definitely say drow make.
Assassins.
Who wears silk and smooth cloth?
Assassins.
We must
Yes.
find out.
Well, I suppose we should go find our brothers. And do so very warily.
Drislin, stay behind me.
Do we know where they went?
Well, not really. I think Zyn just said he was going to stalk around, I believe.
Yeah,
Rilinid?
he was saying that he would
Rilinid.
stalk the sergeant.
Said he was walk the streets, I think.
Well-
I could be anywhere in Fastervault in my quest to find Iving.
Let's get to the town square then.
Yeah, see what we can find on the way.
Okay. Well, meanwhile. So, Zyn,
Yes.
do you do anything particular when you walk around Fastervault?
Well, he would have stuck close to the sergeant, just kind of trying not to be too obvious in his attempts to see what he's doing. Just kind of not exactly disguised, but not wanting to be seen, pretty much.
Okay. So would you then attempt like a stealth check, basically? Or
Yeah, pretty much.
okay, you can do so.
To just disappear in the crowd. I can't because where's my token? There it is. Let's not fail my stealth check. God damn it, that was a 1.
You are quite conspicuous, being one of the lords of the town now, apparently. So it seems that wherever you go, and people see you, they either a hush falls over the gnomes, so they back away, or the drow immediately salute you. So it's kind of hard to remain unseen here. You every time you sort of try to approach a sergeant, it seems that someone calls you out and like salutes you. Oh, my lord, things like that.
Well, seeing that his stealthy attempt is not working, he would instead try to mingle with the soldiers a bit, occasionally dropping a question about the sergeant, where he came from, what made him end up in this army of misfits, pretty much. He wouldn't say army of misfits, but that's what he means.
You probably could say armor misfits. I mean,
Yeah.
well, you do ask around. It does seem that they don't know too much about Sergeant Tarlin. You get to know that he is somewhat of a new member of, or at least former member of office. He is said to have been trained in sword play and tactics at some point. At least he seemed to display some rudimentary, at least, cunning and skill in these matters. And he seems to be efficient and a taskmaster, to be sure, but not overly brutish, at least not by drow standards. You don't really hear too much bad about him, which is kind of weird considering it's a drow. But all things considered, he seems to almost be dedicated to the drow cause. As for his family ties, it remains unknown. Most seem to think that he is either a vagrant, just trying to make his way, or some sort of runaway mercenary.
I see. And now we go into initiative because the assassin is attacking me, right? Actually, let's not do that.
You don't want the... Alright, well... Take away the assassin then for now. Yeah. Tarling will, he will certainly notice Zyn, overlooking, and he will approach. And salute, my lord. The rounding up of the gnomes are going quite well. We have had a few incidents, but we have dealt with it swiftly. And it seems to be under control for now. I have posted guards at the entrances to town, and I think that nothing will pass in or out without us knowing and at least getting a shot in. He looks around. The men are not the most skilled fighters, but they are vicious, and I trust their bloodthirst to see them through in the guard duty at least.
I see. You've done pretty well, I have to say. But I'm curious. You don't quite seem to fit in this army as the other soldiers do. How did you get to be in here? I mean, this was, in my opinion, intended for us to be pretty much suicide mission because the Baroness doesn't like us. So you must have done something to displease her, haven't you?
He sort of throws a glance around and shrugs. I suppose I have, my lord. The Baroness is not easily pleased.
Yes, I've noticed.
He seems unwilling to elaborate further.
Well, you see, if you want to keep your position, we have to trust you in a way. I mean, trust might not be the best word, but, if you're obviously keeping secrets, our relationship might not stay the way it is right now.
He considers, then says, I see, my lord. And is it your opinion then that I am obviously keeping secrets?
Well, you wouldn't be a drow if you wouldn't, would you?
He gives a crooked smile. I suppose not, my lord.
I'd just like to get to know you better, so I can judge you properly. I mean, so far you've done extraordinarily very well. So, I'd really like to like you, but I need to know more about you.
I see.
You out.
Exactly. Well, there's a bar. I see. And how do you propose that we get to know each other better then, my lord?
Well, perhaps we can celebrate our victory later today. Get some of the soldiers to join us and just have a good feast in one of the bars if they are still functional after this, as he points around.
The sergeant smiles and says, I am quite sure we could rouse some of the barkeeps to serve us, my lord. Although I will say that the proprietor of the Blue Bat, Miatha, I think her name was, she is quite resilient and quite headstrong.
Yes, I believe we've met her before.
We could, according to what I have learned, it is the best house in town, and I'm sure she would be happy to serve us, my lord. But if she remains as stubborn as she is, perhaps some discipline might be useful.
That seems reasonable, yes. Well then, carry on with whatever you were doing.
As you say, my lord.
And I shall do the same.
You can make a sense motive check.
I don't have that trained, I believe, unfortunately.
Oh,
I know nothing.
He walks away.
he is servile. The end.
Yeah.
Nothing is wrong with him.
You just got a date.
Well,
Date with a traitor.
the Drow certainly do have proclivities and carnal interests. It really gets boring being in a fortress village for, years without any outside contact. So,
Centuries.
Gotta pass time
It
somehow.
was hilarious. It was so bromance.
If his lord would demand it, the sergeant is no position to really.
Oh my
Resist.
god.
Oh, that's so.
Hello, Jonas.
That's that's the drow way.
It's true.
Well, Zyn has definitely other motive than that, but let him believe what he wants.
You're gonna break his heart. You always do that in games. You never. When someone is hitting on your character, you're always just giving the mean look and kill them.
Yes, as it should be.
Yes. All right. Well, is there anything else Zyn wants to do before
He would probably, since he doesn't really have any reason to shadow him anymore, since he has noticed that he is absolutely incompetent, he'd probably go and find his sisters somewhere.
Well,
Right.
you knew we were going to Lord Troy's, so.
Yeah, so he would go there.
Let's see. Meanwhile, in town, by the mill, apparently.
I figured, let's get away so much from the hustle and bustle. Let's take a look at the meat and potatoes, like whether this place can feed itself.
All right.
Is the mill been destroyed? Stuff like that. The primary focus, as I mentioned, is looking for Iverna.
Yes.
But, along the way, figures he makes himself prominent, and he's really trying to get away from Alauneari, really, because annoyance. She's probably going to be so insufferable with all of her gloating, and, oh, I'm going to appropriate this throne room, and I want this, and I'm going to have the bedroom, and we're going to totally redecorate the whole thing. I need a big marble throne, we need to have our house of here, and a new tapestry right there. One of the Nevlin must be a weaver of some kind. Charge him with creating a new tapestry for festival. And he's like, I don't care.
The bed is made of wood, don't you know?
No, I don't know. It wasn't there. And so...
You will.
You will in excruciating detail.
Going to have to set it on fire. Oh, damn, I don't know who did that, sister. That is a pity. Someone set your bed on fire.
Sad news, sister. The bed has burned. I don't know how it happened.
Sorry I can't create water like you, so I couldn't put it out.
But I tried my best. I really did.
What were you doing in the bed chamber? I smelled smoke.
When she is gone, really lies at the bed, you're smoking. Oh.
That's right.
That's so disrespectful.
Eating candy from
Wait.
the...
I eat the rare candy, blame it
Yeah.
on Trislin later.
Yeah, yes.
This is the life.
Oh, yeah.
What gonna do with my candy?
I know how Lord Gurney felt right now. Yeah. Just
And
stretch
then he
back.
drops the cigarette in bed and oops.
Oh, God. Fuck. Agares, help me craft an amazing lie.
Of course. You just need to pay me.
That's right. I can pay you with candy. The demon lord. is killing with-
Insufficient, I'm afraid.
Damn it. Put it on my charge card.
Of course.
Shop smart,
know.
shop drow mart. Yeah.
The Drawmart discount on barbed wire and poison.
I gotta build up my credit rating, man. Come on.
Yes, sure.
I poison in bulk.
So yeah,
20 doses.
he wants to get as far away from his family and maybe even other drow as he can. He's, of course, still attentive to his surroundings because he's looking for Iverna, and Iverna could be fucking hiding anywhere. So, she's still alive. He is, I think, aware enough of her skills to associate that fact. So he figures if he just walks around, makes himself apparent, and, if anyone wants to come out and get him because he's expecting the Baroness has some sort of card to play, he's confident. He's also like, sweet, none of them. They completely thought it was Trislin. I showed an ability there. I thought if they ask, I'll just blame it on the mask. The mask can do it. They'll never know.
Why
I
does
didn't like
everyone
it.
think it's me?
That's right.
Because you're the caster.
That's right. They've seen you do it before.
Oh gosh.
Approaching the mill, Rilinid can certainly see that there is some repair work being done at the mill, grim-faced and somewhat, deranged-looking Svirfneblin is currently, working on the mill, cursing for himself in gnome. There seems to be some other workers sort of trying to repair it.
So just like a slew of profanities, then?
Yeah,
Okay.
basically it's just cursing up a storm. And it seems to be wearing some sort of crafter garb. Like, yes, maybe some sort of... Perhaps the headmaster of the mill, if a mill has a headmaster.
That's cool. Are they I guess, don't want to interrupt his work. Heaven forbid I actually socialize with these people. Is the millstone apparent? In what condition is the mill?
Well, when you look inside, it seems that it is actually in a fairly good condition. There are some signs of battle in here. Maybe someone tried to hold out in the mill, and door was kicked in, and some damage was done to apparatus. But it seems like the gnomes are currently repairing it with quite some skill and fervor, actually. Constantly lashed by the string of curses from the work leader in here.
He's got that completely covered. There's nothing I need to say to these people that would motivate them further. But, and whether they notice me or not's not important. I just obviously they want to eat, and Rilinid wants to make sure there is enough food for everyone, and this ends up being a concern.
You hear things like, I told them not to abandon it. I warned them. I did. Did they listen? No, of course not. Oh, the bridges, they said, those are important, but a mill.